Hi, internets. Today is March 23rd at 12:15 in the afternoon. It's been about a week or so since I've posted a video. I do apologize. There has been uh, some complications, I guess. uh, so I guess I'll start from, excuse me, I guess I'll start from kind of the beginning. In my videos, I talked about my extreme fatigue, dizziness, out of breath. Sorry, I'm looking at my piranhas back here behind me. I just noticed that I have a piranha and a ciglet. They're kind of chasing each other around. Anyways, off topic, sorry. Anyways, what ended up happening is that I was going to my support groups, online and off, and I kept telling everyone, that I was extremely tired, out of breath, dizzy, weak. It was just unbelievable, for someone who had a very high active level like I did, to be brought to the point that, I was barely making it to the bathroom. I couldn't even walk to the bathroom without getting dizzy. Um, and it was all attributed to the surgery. So this past Sunday, just to show you the level of excitement my day was, I went to Walmart and bought a new toothbrush. And then I went to the fabric store and bought some buttons. That was it. No high level of activity, nothing big, nothing at all. So I come back from doing those two wild and crazy adventures of toothbrush and buttons, and I took my iron pill. Excuse me. My intentions was to go upstairs, use the bathroom, change my clothes, and come back downstairs and eat. And I got about halfway up the steps, and my weak, dizzy spell was really, really bad, to the point that things were kind of like, my peripheral vision was like blacking out. And when it started shrinking, I knew that I was in bad trouble, and lowered myself to my knees, kind of like in a sitting position on my steps, and blacked out. The doctor says that I was out anywhere between half an hour and 45 minutes before I woke up. Thankfully, in the same position, I didn't fall down the steps or get hurt in any way, so that was a blessing. It took all of Sunday afternoon. They weren't sure what was going on. The first jump was, it was the surgery, and I was. They assumed that I was what's called dehydrated and not getting enough nutrition. I was slightly, very slightly dehydrated, and that's kind of good news. And they checked my blood levels again, because they were checking to see if I was bleeding out again, and everything was fine, and everyone was kind of stumped. And it was a random internist who did not see me, but heard them talking about it, heard the doctors and consulting with another doctor, so on and so forth, that had asked about my blood pressure. So when they checked my blood pressure, when I came in, my blood pressure was fine. And he had the bright idea to do the standing, sitting, laying down, and walking blood pressure. And the man has to be a freaking genius, because there it went. What was happening was that right before I had surgery, I was seeing, my primary care physician had a baby. So I was seeing her nurse practitioner, who is not a doctor, but sees patients, as one. I guess that's the best way to describe it. And she had decided to change my blood pressure medicine. I used to have extremely high blood pressure. I've been on blood pressure medicine for about 10 years. The same blood pressure medicine that I've been on. And this nurse practitioner wanted to make a name for herself and lower my blood pressure, so she changed my blood pressure medicine. And we found out Sunday that she had, and it was changed a week before surgery. So I started taking it literally 2 days before surgery, and continued taking it. Anyways, we found out that she had prescribed about 3 times the amount which was called for my weight. Um, and also was a HTC, which means it's a diuretic. It dehydrates you. So with someone with extremely high blood pressure, pulling the water weight off, generally may be a good thing, but this medicine was extremely inappropriate for bypass patients, and she had overprescribed. So it turns out that the complications that I had with bleeding out, of course, it had to do with the blood thinner, but because my blood pressure was all wonky, they're now attributing that to it. And weakness, short of breath, what was going on was that every time I stood up, or stood up and moved, my blood pressure would dip into fainting levels, and that's what was causing all the weakness and the fatigue. And literally, I mean, as long as I was sitting down, so when they were checking things and I was sitting down, I felt okay. But as soon as I did anything, besides change the TV channel, my blood pressure would dip. So, um, and on top of that, I was in renal failure because of the extreme amounts that she had prescribed. My kidneys were doing their damn best to filter things, and yeah, it was brought to a head Sunday, and everyone missed it. Everyone. I had actually went to the primary care 3 or 4 times, had blood work done, after surgery. They, looking to see what the problem was, and everyone missed it. It was just this random internist that called it, said, check your blood pressure standing up. So I was admitted to the hospital for renal failure. I did not have my computer with me, and I was miserable for Sunday. Monday, my first day off the medicine, I felt about 75% back to normal. Tuesday, which would be the second full day that I was off the medicine, I was wearing tracks in the hospital hallways, where before I couldn't even walk 20 feet to the bathroom. They logged me walking almost 4 miles on Tuesday. And Wednesday, I was back to my old self. And now, even now, I'm like, I'm happy again. Where before, I was feeling really depressed because, just how tired I was, and was really regretting the surgery. So now, they're saying they're attributing all that to, well, of course, you get knocked out from surgery, but, when they were talking about people going back to work a couple days after surgery, a week after surgery, and I'm sitting on the couch 2 weeks out, not even able to tie my shoes without losing my breath, I had a lot of doubts and regrets. So this is really a blessing. Weight-wise, when I was in the hospital, that was actually kind of funny because they had a hard time figuring out the bariatric diet. When I had went to the hospital, I was actually on pureed food. When I was in the hospital, they ended up just giving me regular food and just told me to chew the hell out of it, and that's what I did. So pretty much I'm eating regular food now. I'm still trying to eat my proteins first. I'm still eating very small amounts because my pouch is still very small. So that's my thumb. And so that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm at 244 now. I gained a lot of water weight in the hospital, and it's starting to come off now. Because, I mean, they were just pumping me full of liquids and liquids and liquids, and each bag is 2.2 pounds, and I would get a new bag every 3 hours. So I gained, it was like 13 pounds of fluid weight while I was in the hospital. Within 2 days coming out of the hospital, I've lost like 9 of it. So the water weight's still coming off. The doctor said that I'll probably know my true weight, by Monday. So that's when I'll do another update just to give you my true weight on what that is. And in the meantime, just, y'all that are following me, I want to thank you a whole lot. I want to make sure that it's, I guess it's very important that when something doesn't feel right to you, keep you know, opening your mouth. Keep opening your mouth, because if I would have listened to everyone, which I did listen to everyone, you know, I almost died for something, you know, very simple, that they should have checked my blood pressure standing up, you know, and double check the medicine. So thank you, everyone, and I'll see you in a couple days.